Welcome back to the news on Mr. Tien channel. In today's video, storm warning. This storm system will bring widespread impacts. We've had a number of wind warnings throughout Monday as we're heading towards a very strong storm. We don't have a storm name yet, but it's certainly possible over the next few days. However, we'll see very strong winds across many areas, particularly across England and Wales on Monday and Tuesday as the system moves slightly south. We'll start to get some stronger winds. Winds will start to howl in parts of Ireland. Then it'll work through Northern Ireland, back into Scotland, Wales, England, across Scotland, spreading out into the North Sea on Monday. We'll see stronger gusts, tracking Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands, shifting towards Belgium, northern parts of France, and tracking northwest parts of Germany, some strong gusts. We are expecting wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour and in some places up to 60 or even 70 miles per hour. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below. Please share the video to everyone to help me. We've had a lot of hot weather over the summer. This is the first time we've really had a proper natural experience. The storms will actually last from this weekend into next week. As we see from the latest UKV, it's going to be cooler. We'll see a lot of rain and some heavy showers as we've seen now and as we've seen over the last day or so. And we could see a couple of other storm systems that will last into next week. However, there's still a lot of uncertainty around where those storms are going to be and how strong they are. There's definitely going to be some warnings in place over the next few days. Also, as we see from the latest long-range opportunity, it's looking pretty stormy for the next week or so. However, there's still a bit of hope in the longer term as we see more of the jet stream intensifying. So the unsettled conditions and thunderstorms could continue through the second half of the month. But we could see more dry spells and hopefully warmer spells as we progress into the end of September. We've now seen a day of sunshine and showers, with some fairly heavy showers in the northeast of Scotland, with some lingering showers in the southeast of England, but things should lighten as the day progresses. The showers further east have faded as the sun begins to set, but the showers further west, near the center of the low pressure, continue. Some showers are spreading across the northwest, from Wales down into the southwest of England, and some larger showers across the Republic of Ireland into Northern Ireland. Some fairly concentrated showers and some larger showers across western Scotland. The rain could become heavy with hail and thunder. There could be some strong winds for a while if you do get some heavy rain. Temperatures are hovering around the mid-15s for the time of year in many parts of the north, rising to 19 degrees Celsius in the southeast. Some initial heavy rain will start to hit the southwest of England, parts of southern Wales, Northern Ireland, then spread northeast. Warm sunshine as it moves through, but strong westerly winds, cloud and rain are moving in. Then it starts to get colder. Now, if you look at the latest weather warnings, we have a wind warning for Sunday evening until 6 p.m. on Monday. So from Sunday evening until Monday night and then for much of Monday. The driest weather will be in the far north and northeast of Scotland, parts of the northeast of England, but even then we will still have heavy rain. So today will be a windy day. The strongest winds are likely to be late on Sunday, particularly in the southern half of the UK. This area of low pressure is starting to move into parts of Scotland. And we can see those winds really starting to pick up, particularly around the coastal areas, but it will also move into inland areas. So strong, gusty winds could cause some travel disruption and some power supply disruption. Strong westerly or southwesterly winds will move into coastal areas of southwest England and Wales on Sunday evening, then develop further inland on Monday morning. Wind speeds are expected to be 45 to 55 miles per hour, possibly 60 to 70 miles per hour in some spots. And they will weaken from the west late into the afternoon and into Monday evening. But if those winds do pick up, perhaps on Monday morning, which is certainly likely to coincide with peak times, the impact could be greater. So have a look at the latest UKV. Now you can see showers continuing to move in tonight, but mainly in the west, and the band of very heavy rain that is covering parts of Ireland now will move eastwards early in the morning. As we head into Saturday, it's going to be relatively dry at first, apart from coastal areas in the morning and then in the afternoon as the sun comes up. We start to see some heavy showers start to really develop later in the day. We start to see those showers clear out in the evening. And it's looking pretty dry in the evening after some showers across northern England, and that's going to last into Sunday. It's on the southern edge of the low pressure area. That's where we're going to see the strongest winds. And that's from Sunday night into Monday. It doesn't really coincide with a lot of rain in England and Wales, but it's going to be very gusty. And there will be some light showers at times on Monday. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more showers than the forecast. As we head into Tuesday, it's not too bad. Again, there's a bit of a lull between the storm systems. And then as we get into Wednesday, another band of heavy rain looks very intense here. And then, again, similar to the other system on the southern flank, again, there's a very strong wind. It's very uncertain as to how it develops. But you can see it moving across Scotland with the strongest winds on the southern flank. And as we get into Wednesday, that system is equally intense. It's not as deep, but the isobars are more compressed, so the winds could actually get even stronger as we get into Wednesday. Let's look at those winds. You can see as we get into Sunday, initially in the 30s to 40s. Then rising to the 50s or 60s early Monday morning, peaking in the 60s to 70s along the coastal areas. So we're not seeing really strong winds. 80-90 miles per hour. It's not just 50 or 60 degrees for coastal areas or one particular spot. This is a pretty big wind zone, so it's going to affect a lot of areas. It's going to weaken on Tuesday, down to about 10 or 20 miles per hour. Then it picks up again on Wednesday. And you can see the southern flank of this system getting even higher, maybe up to 70 or 80 miles per hour there. So again, we're going to have to keep a close eye on this as we get closer because we've got 5 days to go. There's still some uncertainty about this. Now, if you look at the maximum temperatures today, it might just get to 18 or 19 in the east, but most of it's hovering around the mid-10. So temperatures are really dropping right now with the return of the westerly winds. It's pretty chilly Sunday morning. And then during the day, again, really hovering around the mid-10 or even low-10 in some places. And then Monday, again, a pretty bad day for many. Maybe hitting 18 or 19 with a warmer zone in the southeast. Tuesday, a little bit higher, a pretty wide range of high 10 degrees with that warmer zone. But then as we get into Wednesday, you could see a 20-degree zone there Wednesday afternoon. But again, it's all relative to those warm zones. You could see that warm zone there on Sunday dissipate and then another warm zone comes in on Wednesday. So the warmer the air, the higher the humidity, and yes, the surface will be warmer. But the reality is that the system will be more dynamic with greater contrast within those weather fronts. That storm system actually comes in from Sunday into Monday, looking pretty strong as it dissipates. And then there's the next storm system on Wednesday, and there could be more storm systems. And you can actually see it in the Great Ridge heading north to Canada. The low drops into the Atlantic and then the high builds back up over the UK. And if we get up to 300 HPA winds, you can actually see that jet stream in all its strength. But because it's so choppy and variable, it's going to bring some drier and warmer opportunities. Westerly winds will continue over the next few days. Storm systems move in from Sunday into Monday. Then another one will come in on Wednesday. It's probably not going to be as strong there. We've got those lows coming in again. And look at those air masses coming in over the weekend. That's a hot air mass just 2 hours to the southeast. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. But it will take us into the high 20s, probably by the end of next week. But we'll have to be very wary of rain because there's going to be a lot of it around. We'll see how much rain we can avoid there over the longer term. You can see it's going to be cool and steady in the west, dry and hot in the east. And on the 10th, we're actually sitting pretty well there with the jet stream coming down into the Atlantic, pushing north around Iceland, coming down again into Scandinavia. But for the UK, we're right under a high pressure that's in a summer-like pattern. So it's not going to be ridiculously hot. The air temperatures aloft aren't going to be that high, but it could get into the low 20s. Especially on the west side of this high pressure area with the warmer winds coming in. That's a good sign. Again, things are going to change, the timing is going to change. The intensity is going to change. We're looking at a pretty big stretch of thunderstorms that's going to last through the weekend into next week. Then we could see a pattern of up and down with periods of thunderstorms in between, maybe warmer, drier at times. So a little bit of a mixed bag. Kind of typical fall conditions. This storm system will bring widespread impacts, current weather conditions. We have a storm system moving into the area, particularly on Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. And another one right after that. We're getting closer to that pattern as we move into fall, and we're going to start to see some stronger winds moving in. This system, it's going to be quite impactful with some of the gusts that we'll see around starting to work on Sunday for many of us and then working right across the North Sea by the time we get into Monday. Still bringing some rain and some gusts to many of us as this continues to move in. It's strengthening now, so you go towards Ireland and the UK, Norway, France, Portugal, Spain, just to orient you. We have a system right near Iceland that has brought some gusts and rain, but it's this system here that's moving out of the Atlantic into Canada. This is Newfoundland in the Avalon Peninsula. This is a storm that's strengthening as it moves through. This is what it's going to look like as we really get into the second half of the week and early next week. We're expecting gusts around 80 to 90 kilometers per hour, so some of the higher gusts will be limited if you're along the coast. Just inland, the gusts will be weaker but some gusts around 80 kilometers per hour. And any time you get a large system that's widespread that can happen. This system is all over the place and eventually moves from Ireland towards Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania with some higher gusts as we move into early next week. Now, let's start with the winds. Sunday morning, we're going to start to get some stronger winds. The winds are going to start to howl in some parts of Ireland. It's going to be a gust of about 50 miles per hour, 80 kilometers per hour. Then it's going to work through Northern Ireland, back into Scotland, Wales, England. People are going to get some rain. And then as this goes across Scotland, out into the North Sea on Monday, we're going to see stronger winds, looking at Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands. Seeing some stronger winds, turning towards Belgium, some stronger winds could happen. Northern parts of France, and looking at the northwestern parts of Germany, yeah, some strong winds. Now, speaking of rain, here's some areas of rain. Amsterdam, Brussels is working mainly into the western parts of Germany. Sunday morning, rain starts to work through Ireland. Some downpours. You see, this is on Sunday afternoon. There's a larger rain event going on in Wales, England, and then the system will move over to Norway. But Denmark, for example, will see some of that rain. A showery Monday is coming up. You'll see some rain creeping in across a lot of places and keep an eye out for some rain across Denmark, parts of Germany, towards the Netherlands and Belgium as we move into Monday. Again, we had some severe weather earlier in the week and look what's going to happen. It's amazing how the weather is connected. We have a larger system that's working its way through Ireland and the UK on Sunday. Look out, Latvia, south through Hungary, Romania, we're going to see some larger thunderstorms. Don't miss that. Poland, some larger storms. Look out for Asia, Slovenia as we head into the weekend for some larger storms. And then this system will start to work its way across and you could even see it delivering some of that rain all the way into Sweden and Norway, and then deeper into Monday and Tuesday. Some of that rain will spread into Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. So as we move into Tuesday night into Wednesday, this system will be working its way across the country, and then we have a higher chance of rain from Denmark south through northern France. And then work its way into Germany, and still looking at some thunderstorms. Ukraine on Wednesday, we could have some stronger storms, and some storms could form along the coast, even just affecting the northern parts of Greece as we move into Wednesday. Let's see how rough the seas are. As we move into Sunday, the storm system will start to come in, and you can see some really rough seas. It's going to be very turbulent on the water. There's definitely going to be waves coming into France, Portugal, Spain there, the seas on Monday, on the Atlantic side. Then as we move into the North Sea on Monday into Tuesday, and then looking at the Baltic Sea as well. Things are going to get very rough early next week as this storm system moves in. Here's the total rainfall for the 3 days. Well, there's over 100 millimeters of rain in places as we head back to Portugal. We're mostly dry and trying to keep everyone sheltered. Well, Spain, watch out for some showers and thunderstorms. Slovenia, Serbia. We could have a few thunderstorms that will eventually come through. Poland, Czechia heading towards Slovakia, Hungary, and then back into Romania, some storms. We could see a few storms trying to move a little bit south. But Bulgaria, we'll have a few storms. So the storm system in the North Atlantic is strengthening as it moves out of Canada. Sunday will be quite turbulent and windy for Ireland and the UK. And then the next area right behind it, and the tropical Atlantic is getting more active. I'm expecting it to be very active in the Atlantic basin. About tropical storms and typhoons, we will be moving into late September and October. Be careful of some storms throughout the weekend. Thank you, and you are watching the news on Mr. Tien channel. Have a nice day. Don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. Share the video to everyone.